Whatever created this realm is the master of deception. We don't see things as they are. And not only do we not see things as they are, we're not even supposed to see things as they are. We are being manipulated each and every day, and the manipulation seems to work. We're supposed to believe things that are not true about ourselves, about our history, about our experience. We should ask ourselves why. The guy who predicted the failed assassination of Donald Trump, this is the most accurate prophecy that I've ever seen. Like, he predicted everything. There isn't a detail that he missed. Like, that's the most accurate prophecy that I've ever seen. He predicted the failed assassination 3 or 4 months before it happened. And that made me think we have to be living in a scripted reality. There's no way he is able to see what's going to happen in the future. And he's telling us about God. Jesus is reading the Bible and he's saying that God is showing him all these visions. You're like, nah, bro. Something is not adding up. Yeah, that guy is saying that the aliens are coming. I'm talking about a guy who predicted the failed assassination of Donald Trump. He's saying that the aliens are coming. He saw a spaceship at the Vatican, a spaceship in Mexico. He's talking about big spaceships. He saw small spaceships coming out of this big spaceship. He said the whole world will be shocked. He saw people holding signs that say "Welcome to Earth." Like, we would be very excited to meet the aliens, but he said that's deception. We're being deceived, and I'll be like, why would we be deceived? What we will be seeing some spaceship that we don't even know, that we've never seen before, coming to Earth. What are we supposed to think, and why is God not even telling us the truth? We're humans at the end of the day. We're supposed to believe what makes sense, I guess. But yeah, he says that's what's gonna happen. That made me ask myself, if he got because there's some prophecies that you just won't get right. Like, even like you could predict that maybe you could predict that someone might try to assassinate Trump, right? You can predict that. But to know where he's gonna be shot and that the bullet is gonna it's not really gonna hit him like that. It's just gonna hit his ear, and then the person who will shoot him will get shot, and he will stand up and he will be like this. Like, to get all of that, I'm supposed to take you seriously because you got everything right. So when he says the aliens are coming, I'm supposed to think the aliens are actually coming. But I'm not supposed to think that this guy is being told that by like a loving God, maybe he's being used to, get us ready. Maybe that's the reason why he was shown the failed assassination of Donald Trump. Maybe the whole thing was planned and he was there. He was listening when they were planning everything, you know? Because we live in a world where we're being deceived in so many ways. We're not really being given truth. We're not being given what truly makes sense. There's a reason why there's many different religions in the world. It shows us that we are being deceived, we are being manipulated. And every religion makes sense to its followers. We can debate all we want about which religion is true, but every religion makes sense to its followers. And there is something that they're getting out of these religions. Ever been to a church where when they pray for people, they fall and they start rolling on the floor? You would swear that none of that is real. You would swear that they're just acting. But these pastors will go to different places and the same thing will be happening. They'll even go to other churches where that is not very common and it will happen. In fact, that there's a church where that doesn't usually happen. People get prayed for, they don't fall, they don't roll on the floor. Like it's rare. And then this pastor starts preaching, and then now these people are rolling. You see, it's deception. Like we're supposed to look at that and be like, yeah, it means something. It means that this religion is true. There would always be evidence that the religion that you actually believe in is true. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. It's all about deception. Because if it wasn't about deception, we would have known the truth by now. We would have been shown the truth by now. It's not that these religions, even though when you're looking at things from the outside, nothing really makes sense. It's not that there ain't some things that if you are looking at this religion from the inside, you'll be like, okay, but that is something, Like there are things that you look at and be like, I don't know, man, but this is something. So the reason why we're given these like different religions is because whatever is controlling this reality wants us to be confused. It's easy to manipulate people who are confused. We're dealing with the master of deception. The reason why we're not told the truth about our existence is so that we'll be confused. The story of the Anunnakis makes sense, right? If you look at what's on those tablets, ancient Sumerian tablets, you look at what these tablets are depicting. These big, large beings with wings. Some of them are wearing watches, helicopters, the depiction of our solar system. You're like, huh? What's going on here? They seem to have been using technology that we're using many, many years ago. Computers, sunglasses. You're like, damn. Some of them holding monkeys, and it seems like they are turning these monkeys into humans. They even show our DNA as it is. Like, what's going on? And we're talking about tablets that were discovered before we discovered these things. Don't you think the things that are happening in the world are happening to confuse us? Prophets predicting the end of the world, always coming up with new dates. When will it stop? People act like they're truly convinced that they've seen the truth. They know when the whole thing is going to end, and they get everyone scared and confused. We're dealing with the master manipulator here. There's nothing that you're supposed to know for sure. You're supposed to have questions but no answers. And the more you ask for questions, the more confused you become. Sometimes it feels like it's better to just believe what you believe and not even, pay attention to everything else. If you're a Christian, you'd be like, this is what I'm focusing on. Jesus died for my sins. And sometimes I see Jesus in my dreams. Sometimes he tells me things. Sometimes he heals me. Sometimes he gives me what I want. So this is what I'm going to focus on. I don't give a damn about the Anunnakis. I don't give a damn about other religions. I don't give a damn. This is what I'm going to focus on. Sometimes that seems better. Tell you about the dinosaurs. You're like, dang. How do they know? Telling me that they found some bones? Where does technology come from? Is technology really man-made? Or it's something that was given to us? Like, you'd have so many questions, bro. Does it seem like technology is man-made? Like, we as humans, we discovered technology. We have Wi-Fi. I know some people be like, yeah, just because you don't understand something, it doesn't mean that it wasn't discovered by humans. Because it's like you think you're so damn intelligent that if you can't understand something, then no human should be able to understand it. But I don't know, man, it's strange. Something that has already been discovered, we should also be able to, do something similar to it. Human beings, once they discover that something is possible, they now will be able to do it, right? Someone will beat Usain Bolt's record. It's now they discover that is possible. It will happen. You find that, people who be running 2035, like it won't be that difficult for them to beat Usain Bolt's record. There will be a new record. You're like, damn, man. How did we discover technology? I think it makes more sense to believe that technology was given to us, or something that was able to change itself into a human, or something that was able to appear human, gave us technology. We find that there are these beings that are able to disguise themselves as humans. They are creating all these things that we don't understand. So we're like, okay, it's humans who created this, it's humans who created that. We created this, we created that. It makes me laugh when we put it that way, that we created this, we created that. Like, what do you mean we? I didn't create none of that, bro. I don't know how to create none of that. I don't know how to create a cell phone. I only know that if I press the camera icon, go to video, press record, it's gonna start recording. I don't know that because I'm a genius. I know that because I follow the instructions, and it just becomes obvious. You just have to press, and then it's recording. This is magic to me. This is supposed to be impossible. In fact, this is stranger than magic. Sometimes I think they give us technology so that we don't believe in magic. But like, yeah, this is how they do it. They to take this and that and then put it together, and then it creates cell phone technology. But it's not even technology, it's actually magic. Deception. Before I started recording this video, I was sleeping. I'd been sleeping for 4 hours, and I had these crazy dreams. I'm mad that I don't remember. Like, okay, I was in this place where I was talking to these guys about the nature of reality, about consciousness, where do we come from, why do we exist, and bruh, the things they were saying, I even recorded them. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I must record you because what you're saying is truly interesting. Took out my cell phone, started recording them. People say they don't see cell phones in their dreams. I see my cell phone all the time. My watch, I don't even watch, but I've dreamt about myself wearing a watch. I see time in my dream all the time. I'll have conversations on WhatsApp in my dream all the time. Receive phone calls in my dream all the time. So I'm talking to these guys, and they are telling me a lot of things about reality. And I'm like, what the hell? It was a family, actually. It was the father, the son, and the other person was a friend. He's the one who took me to them. It's like, yo, there's these guys, man. Like, I want you to listen to them try to break down reality for you. Like, you'll be mind blown. And I listen to these guys and I'm like, what the hell? So the problem is I forgot some of the things that they were telling me, right? But they were basically telling me that this is actually a simulation. And they try to prove to me in so many different ways why this is a simulation. When I woke up, I'm like, how can dream characters tell me something that makes so much sense that I can't even think? They gave me many examples, and I'm mad that I can't even remember like the things that they were telling me. I'm still trying to remember because I was mind blown. It's not like they were saying things that didn't make sense, but they only made sense to me because I was dreaming. No, they were telling me things that actually made sense, but then when I woke up, I forgot these things. But the fact that we dream and we keep forgetting our dreams, that tells us something, because we shouldn't be forgetting our dreams. It's not that human beings can't tell if something happened in their dreams and if something happened in real life. In fact, it's much easier to confuse dreams with real life if you don't really remember your dreams. Right? But if you wake up from a dream and be like, oh, it was all a dream, and you know that, then you won't be confused. The same way that if you're playing a video game and something happens in the video game and then you stop playing the video game, you know that, oh, it happened in a video game, right? But if you couldn't really remember what was happening when you were playing the video game, it's much easier to be confused. Well, ask yourself, why do we keep on forgetting our dreams? I'm able to remember the conversations that I had with people 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I can remember the conversations. But the things that we dream about, you wake up, 3 minutes after dreaming, you forget. You forgot everything. Sometimes you even forget the whole dream. You only remember how you felt in the dream. So you remember that, oh, yeah, when I was having this dream, I was scared. I was feeling alone. I was anxious, this and that. But you don't even remember the context. Like, what was the dream about? You might even remember that there was something that scared you, something, maybe an alien or something, but you don't really remember. It's crazy. We're dealing with beings that be deceiving us, and that's what's truly making them powerful. Is the lies that they're feeding us, and us believing these lies is what's really making them powerful. Why do we dream? Why do we go to worlds that seem really real, interact with beings that seem really real, but then we wake up and realize that it was all a dream? What is the point of all of that? We like to give meaning to things like, okay, I'm in my dream so that I will train my mind to how to respond to certain situations. So dreams will be like, if you watch the Matrix, they'll create simulations where they can train. So it's kind of like that, so that in real life, when I find myself in similar situations, I'll know how to behave. The problem is I don't even remember my dream, so how will I even know how to behave? At least if I remember my dream, but I've dreamt about this and this is how I've handled it. So that means that this is how I should handle it. But if you don't even remember your dreams, you're not gonna know how to handle something in real life. It's like if you were training to be a fighter and maybe there was something that you can wear, when you're throwing punches and darting your opponent, you're supposed to you feel something when they hit you and all of that, but it to you feel like you're sparring with them, but they're not really sparring with you. They're hitting you as hard as they can, and you can feel it, and as fast as they can, and you're learning how to dodge their punches. You're also learning how to counter their punches and how to punch them. You're supposed to remember everything. You're not supposed to forget completely. Because once you forget, in real life, when you're fighting, you're not going to know what to do. You might say, okay, what about reflexes? I don't think if you forget completely, you're going to remember how to respond to situations. The reason why you know not to touch fire is because you remember that fire burns, right? So if you didn't remember completely, I don't think, even if you were able to react, it wouldn't be the same. So you need to actually remember your dreams. You need to remember that what you dreamt about and that it was a dream. But we're being manipulated, bro. The things we're being told by the media. You mean to tell me they don't know what 3i Atlas is? Because it seems like this is something that's going to be huge. I don't think 3i Atlas is just going to be something that's going to pass without, like something that's not going to impact our lives in a big way. There's many conspiracy theories about it. The scientists were saying, hey man, we have seen comets before. This thing doesn't really behave like a comet. It changes its speed. We have never seen comets change its speed. It's huge. We've seen comets before, but they're never that huge. But they're not really telling us anything. There's been many UFOs that have been spotted all over the world, but we're not being told anything. Doesn't that make you suspicious? And shouldn't the presidents that the presidents are all over the world, shouldn't they have told the people about aliens, like yo man, look, I'm the president of the United States. I know that there's many conspiracy theories about aliens, but I'm here to tell you everything, right? There are no aliens. We don't know where these spaceships or whatever things come from. We know as much as you think you know, right? We're also confused, but this is what we're doing. Transparency. But nah, they don't even care. There's been so many things that we have seen that we know are strange enough to be spoken about, to the president of the country where these things have happened is supposed to tell the people what they think is going on. Like, yeah, our top scientists, our top scientists say this and that, the astronauts say this and that. You know what I'm saying? That would be good. But it seems like we are being deceived, and that's the point of it. It's deception. And what's strange to me is that we as people are not even curious enough. When we are being lied to, we don't seem to. Sometimes you think that people just don't care. Like, there are few people who are trying to figure out what's going on, but we don't take things that seriously. The guy who predicted the failed assassination of Donald Trump, shouldn't that be something that the whole world is talking about? Someone was actually able to predict. I know that there have been so many people who've claimed to predict the future, but they don't really get it right. I remember they say there's this lady who was blind, who predicted that aliens are gonna arrive on Earth in 2025, and they believe that she predicted, like, three-eye atlases. That's the spaceship of these aliens that she predict, but she's not giving that a lot of details, right? We're talking about a guy who got everything right. He knew where Donald Trump was going to be shot on his ear. He knew how it was going to happen, what was going to happen to the shooter. He knew how Donald Trump would react. The way Trump reacted was weird. Like, the way Trump reacted to the whole thing was weird. First of all, he didn't know how many shooters were there, right? So, and the whole thing happened within a minute. So, okay, he gets shot in the ear. I'm expecting someone who gets shot in the ear to panic. To actually panic. Because we're talking about a life here. I don't expect the same person to stand up and be like this. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. But hey. But yeah, it's something that we should have spoken about. Try to understand it. Was this person told that they must say this? Because that's actually brilliant when you think about it. If I'm trying to become a president, and then someone predicts my failed assassination, and they're a Christian, so I live in a Christian country, and someone predicts my failed assassination, and they saying it's God who protected me because I'm supposed, to become president, and blah 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 blah, and it happens the way that they predicted. That's a big thing. Like, a lot of Christians will be like, "Hey, man, it shows that God is on his side. God wants us to choose this person." I think it's deception. We are being deceived as humans. I think there are a lot of things that are not what they seem. A lot of things. Like, a lot of things. Oh, I remember something that the guys in my dream told me. Talking to me about they told me that they feel like this is a simulation. So telling me that it's something that I've actually told you about, but the way that they explained it was so, like, they even use science to explain it. Like, it made a lot of sense the way that they explained it. But they were saying that there are very few people that are real in the world. There are very few people that are actually real. Like, very few. Like, if they told me the exact number, I wouldn't be able to believe it. He said most people are actually NPCs, and they are and people who are real are not supposed to meet. They're not supposed to meet one another. Like, I'm not supposed to meet a person who's real in real life. Maybe I can, uh, maybe I can come across their photo or their video online, but in real life, I'm not supposed to meet them. If we meet in real life, the whole thing is going to collapse. They explained to me. They even use mathematics to explain to me. I don't even understand mathematics, but it made sense. It made sense the way they explained it. So in a dream, I actually understood real mathematics. I was a math genius, bro. But yeah, they were telling me that things are not what they seem. There are people, not that there are people. Every person that I interact with is not even real. That's what they were telling me. That, but that doesn't mean that there are no people who are real. But I'm not supposed to meet them. So the people that I interact with are like background people, you know. They're like background people. They they say what they were programmed to say, um, and I only believe that these people are real because that's what I'm supposed to believe. This is the only reality that I've experienced. So what am I supposed to believe, right? I'm supposed to believe that I'm interacting with beings who have their own consciousness, and they seem to have their own consciousness because they act like me. Some of them are able to do some things better than me, right? Some of them are able to sing better than me. Some of them are able to write better rap verses. You know, some of them are able to um, write books that you know that are very impressive. So I'm supposed to think that I'm interacting with real people, but now they're only there to confuse me. I was like, damn. Little did I know that even these people that I was interacting with in my dreams were not real. Because to me, it felt like the whole thing was real. I even asked if I can go live on YouTube, and they refused. I was like, look, can we discuss can we have this conversation live on YouTube? Um, there are many people who I believe would be interested in this conversation that we're having, and they're like, no, we just want to talk to you. That's it. So, but let's just have a conversation. I was like, okay, let me record you so that I can uh, listen back our conversation so that I will not I'll be able to tell my audience. They were like, okay, that's not a problem. So I was recording them, and I woke up. I was like, shh. The fact that we know nothing about our existence should make us suspicious. There isn't anything that we can prove. Coming up with theories of the theories. We don't know how they're able to see this thing that what they were told is coming, or it's gonna pass by Earth. We're supposed to even know that there's this thing that is coming that's gonna pass by Earth. Why are we so different from other animals? Other animals seem to like belong here. We don't feed them We're causing a lot of suffering. So these animals, we are able to imprison them. Does the nature here on earth even allow that? Or maybe we're not even from here. And that's why we're able to do things that are not even supposed to be done here. Like to imprison an animal. Understand how messed up that is? So an animal can be born in captivity and never live with its kind. We just give it food. It never gets to know what it's like to live with its kind. It never even gets to think that there are others like it that actually exist. So it just thinks that it's only. I don't even know what it tells itself. Maybe it tells itself that we created it as humans. I don't know. Can't know what these animals know. Maybe they know some things that we don't know. Who knows? Remember, I came across a video on TikTok of this guy that he said that he asked his dog if it was a human before, and his dog ran away. And he said a lot of creepy things started happening. Like maybe the dogs are actually able to understand us. That's why they're able to read our emotions. When you're not feeling well, a dog can tell you're not feeling well. Like if you're not feeling well and you're in pain, your dog will also respond that way, whether you're showing it or not. It's crazy. Unless maybe your dog doesn't care about you. But if your dog cares about you, it can feel if you're not okay. It can sense when something is wrong. It can sense when there's danger. Dogs can actually sense when there's danger. I don't think they always see that there's danger. I think sometimes they can sense that there's danger. You know? They can tell if there's about to be an earthquake or like a weird natural disaster. They can sense. So maybe some animals do know some things that we don't know. But they can't communicate with us. A lot of weird things that are going on in the world that proves to me that we're being deceived, and whatever is deceiving us doesn't have our best interest at heart. Because what we tell ourselves is that, oh, we're being deceived because we are loved, we'll know the truth at the right time. Now it's not the time. Now we're not ready for the truth, right? We keep on making excuses for whatever seems to be deceiving us. But really, it seems like whatever is deceiving us doesn't have our best interest at heart. Like it doesn't actually care about us. It doesn't care if we're happy or not. It doesn't care if we're confused or not. It only cares about the power that it has. So as long as it remains powerful, that's good. As long as it's able to be ahead of us all the time, that is good. As long as we don't know what's about to happen, but it knows what's about to happen, that's good. As long as when we're dreaming, we don't know that we're dreaming, that is good. As long as we don't know what this reality really is, that is good. We might get closer to understanding what it is, but we will never know for sure. We'll still be confused. We'll still ask ourselves, is it a simulation? And we can come up with theories that make us believe that this is a simulation sometimes. Sometimes we'll come up with theories that make us believe that this is actually a material universe and it's not a simulation, but we can create simulations in the future. But when you think about the fact that we are already creating worlds that are not real, and you think about where we were technologically 30 years ago, like, damn. The games that we used to play, the video games that we used to play, bro, 30 years ago, and you look at the video games that they're able to create now, you're like, damn. So imagine what they'll be able to create 30 years from now. The video games that they will create 30 years from now will look so realistic. Like you won't be able to tell the difference between what you call reality and a video game. When you look at the videos that are being created by artificial intelligence now, the only way we are able to tell that these videos are made by artificial intelligence is if something weird happens. If someone is sitting on a chair but it seems like their leg is inside the chair or something. Or if they're falling away, if they're falling a weird way, or if the video is just to them ridiculous, right? You see someone fighting with a crocodile, you're like, no, that can't be real. But there are videos that are made by artificial intelligence that seem real, no mistakes, nothing. So imagine what's gonna happen 30 years from now. There was a video that was made in 2023 of Will Smith eating spaghetti. You could tell easily that that's not real. But now you can't tell. They're making Jake Paul videos, bro. You don't know what's real and what isn't. The only way you can tell if it's not real is if it's doing something weird, like Jake Paul is flying. Yeah, oh, that's not real. Or he's saying things that you like. No, Jake Paul wouldn't say these things. They're making videos of Martin Luther King, right? Like Martin Luther King. They're making videos of Martin Luther King turning heel in WWE. He'd be giving some of the craziest speeches ever, bro. These videos are trending. Some people are saying that they would rather watch AI generated WWE videos than watch the actual shows, because these AI characters be killing it, bro. Like they'll be bringing people who are dead back to life, and bruh, like the performance is insane. Like Martin Luther King on the mic, bro. You're like, damn, he would have been the best. He would have been the GOAT. So imagine, imagine what's gonna be happening 50 years from now, 100 years from now. We won't be able to separate reality from something that has been created by artificial. Like we won't be able to, the same way that we can't even tell the difference between what we call reality and our dreams. So ask yourself, what are other ways you are being deceived in this world? Because if they didn't tell us that there was such thing as artificial intelligence, we wouldn't. What would we think when we see these videos? If you approached a tribe, that like an uncontacted tribe, and you explain to them about cell phones, how they record videos, and then you show them AI generated videos, they will think that these videos are real. If you want to manipulate them, let's just say you've infiltrated their tribe, you show them how cell phone works, how cell phone record videos and all of that. After a few generations, you don't tell them anything about AI. After a few generations, if you want to become king, you now use AI to generate videos of some of their kings doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and you show people in the tribe, they'll believe that, oh, that actually did happen. Like we see it on this video that it happened, right? At least nowadays, if you get caught doing something stupid, you'll be like, it's AI. If I get caught doing something stupid, I'm blaming it on AI, bro. Like, it's AI. Brian, do that. It's AI. They use AI. I didn't do that. I ain't the one who was getting his ass whooped in that fight. They use artificial intelligence. Yes, I did get involved in a fight, but he didn't beat me. So it seems like the person who recorded the video is someone who actually hates me. So they decided to use AI to make it look like I'm the one who lost the fight, We're being deceived on every level, man. Things are not what they seem. Synchronicities. People will be like, yeah, I was watching your video. As soon as you said the word synchronicity, I had. So my sister was watching a video on the other room, and I could hear some of the things that she was hearing. So she also had the word synchronicity at the exact same time when I had it. Like, dang. Like, it's strange to me. Sometimes you'll think of something and you hear about it So you're watching a movie, for an example. You've not watched the movie before. You think of something, and then they show you in a movie, or they say there's something that you were thinking in the movie. Like sometimes you don't even become shocked, because reality is so strange that these things are common, right? The synchronicities are very common. You think of something, as soon as you go online, that's the first thing that you see. You think of a celebrity, as soon as you don't see the celebrity all the time, but you think of this celebrity, as soon as you go online, it's a story about them. It's not like you're thinking about them because they're trending or anything like that. You just think of them. As soon as you go on Facebook, they posted something. Like, for example, you think of Barack Obama. I don't think about Barack Obama. So you think of Barack Obama. Barack Obama doesn't post a lot on Facebook. He doesn't post a lot. He does post, but not a lot. So as soon as you open your Facebook, it's him. And the post is trending. I just thought of this guy. I know that you also are always thinking, you can say, yeah, maybe sometimes you will think about someone and then boom, you post it. But I'm talking about, you think of them as you're opening your Facebook and the first post is them. What does that tell you? Doesn't that tell you that it's not as random as we may think? Maybe sometimes we are able to tap into this field of consciousness that's actually creating our reality. We just don't know how we're doing that. So sometimes glitches happen, and that is why we're able to. That's why these synchronicities be happening. Because everyone has experienced synchronicities. They've experienced things that seem totally real, that shouldn't be happening, but that are happening simultaneously. You dream about something, as soon as you wake up. I remember I told you all that I'm kind of, I don't know if I should say scared. Let me say scared. I'm kind of scared of lizards. When I still living in my village, one day, I think it was 2018, 2019. No, it was 2017. Yeah, I remember it was 2017. There's never been a lizard in my room. There's never been a lizard in my room. You can't tell me that this synchronicity isn't crazy, right? There's never been a lizard in my room. I'm sleeping. I dream of myself chasing a lizard, not in my room, but in a dining room. So I'm trying to get rid of this lizard, to dream, right? Then I wake up. When I wake up, I look up and say, lizard. How do you explain that? As soon as I open my eyes and see a lizard in my room, try to chase it out. From that day until I left home, I was dealing with these things. I hated those things. I would be dealing with these things. Sometimes there would be like 3, bro, in a room. Sometimes they'll just show their tails. Sometimes I'll be like, is that a snake or a lizard? Like the tail is too big, bro. I'll be scared sometimes. Trying to get rid of them, and when they will be moving, they'll make a lot of noise because like the way that the room was built was just weird, bro. Like they'll just be making a lot of noise and you hear them like moving. Sometimes they'll wake me up. Yeah, I was suffering a lot. And I'll try to, sometimes I will go and borrow a ladder from the neighbors, and I'll go up and try to figure out how they're able to enter and try to close, the spots where I think they're able to that they're using to enter. The next thing, they're still there. Sometimes I'll manage to kill them and I'll be like, okay, now I'll be good, because I'll think that it's just the same lizard that'll be coming back every day. There's something that they want. I don't know what they actually want, actually. So once it discovers that, oh, there's some that it wants, it just keeps on coming back. So if I kill it, then I'm good. The next day there's another one. You're like, what the hell? And they're very hard to kill because they know how to hide. The crazy thing is that started after I had a dream about it. Like, how dreams about lizards? I think it was my first time dreaming about a lizard, bro. Like, I don't dream about a lizard. I'll dream about snakes, yes, but not a lizard. What kind of synchronicity is that? And I've had so many synchronicities that the thing is, I should actually have a diary where I write about my synchronicities, because sometimes you just won't remember. If you ask me, is there any crazy synchronicity that you've experienced, I wouldn't even think of that. It just came back now, but it's not something that I'm always gonna think about. But synchronicities is something that I'm always experiencing. So there are a lot of weird things that are going on in this reality that actually tell us that something isn't right, that tell us that we're being deceived big time, we're being manipulated big time. Things are not what they seem. If there's something that you must always keep in mind, is that things are not what they seem. Reality is not what it seems. That is why weird things are happening. If things were what they seem, there wouldn't be weird things that be happening. There will be a lot that we know, but things are not what they seem. I have a feeling that this year, a lot of things that are weird, like really weird, things that are going to shock us, are going to happen. 2025, I'm telling you, this year is going to end with a bang, bro. Something crazy is going to happen. That's why these prophets are talking about, hey, like they can sense also maybe that something's going to happen. Because it's not just the Christian prophets, it's just like a lot of them. Like something is coming. And we feel weird as people. Like we're feeling weird about the whole, like, reality itself. Everyone's feeling weird. Like, we're feeling like things are not what they used to be. So there's that feeling that something weird is gonna happen. Something that we don't expect, something that has not happened before. Or something that we don't remember happening before. Whatever created this is a master of deception. But to deal with a force that is deceptive, you must not believe anything from it. If you're dealing with a force that's deceptive, you must try your best not to believe anything from it. I mean, if you're dealing with a force that can create reality, false reality, that doesn't give you answers about the experiences that you are having, it's only after you've had these experiences that you realize that they were not even real, and when it doesn't matter anymore, really. Because you can have an experience, while it still matters, you're supposed to still think that it's real. A lot of crazy things, man, that are happening in this room. I think it does make sense to not believe anything. I don't believe anything. Remember, one of my favorite songs by Killing Loss is called Old Crown. The end of the song is like, all this shit is an illusion, don't believe anything, nothing is real. I like that part. All these things, like, everything is an illusion. Like, don't believe anything. I think that's your truest power. So don't believe anything, really. You're like, I don't know what this is, man. So why should I believe it? Why should I believe this is real if I don't even know what it is? It's not like I was told or even shown that this is real. It's not like I know what is sourcing this. It's not like I know that there isn't this evil force that is able to give me this false reality that I believe is real. There's so much that I don't know to even believe anything, and it's true. There's so much that you don't know to even believe anything, to even be certain that you understand what is going on. That is why I'm telling you that we need to be grounded, so grounded that um, we don't actually we protect our energy, right? We don't give our energy away when we're having weird experiences that we don't understand. We're so grounded. Like, I don't know what this is, man. And if we can approach life that way, I think that's better. Because we approach life as if we understand what it is. Ever realize that we live life as if we understand what it is? We respond to things like we understand what they are. You respond to death as if you understand what it is. I understand that if someone dies, you're never going to see them again, yes. In most cases, you're never going to see them again. I mean, people do fake that. But um, you do dream about them, so maybe that's not even true, that you're never going to see them again. But yeah, we don't even understand what death is. But the way we respond to death is like we know what it is. Maybe if things should happen and we just be like, hey man, I don't know what's going on. So how should I know how to feel about what has happened if I don't even know what's going on? Maybe I should only uh know if I don't feel comfortable about something, but not what to make of it. It's like maybe it is what it is, but I'm not comfortable, and maybe that's what really matters. Or I don't like it. Maybe that is what really matters. But I don't think things are what they seem. I think we must live life like we don't know what is going on, because we don't. We're just making things up, and these things that we're making up are also causing us a lot of suffering. We are making religions up. Some of these religions were given, but yeah, it's made up, and it's obvious that some of them have to be made up, or all of them. So we make ourselves suffer because of something that was made up, something that is not real. And sometimes we create our own stories in our heads and we suffer. We give power to this realm, using our own imagination. Sometimes we just have to admit to ourselves that we are confused by this thing. It's not really making sense to us. We hope that one day we can wake up from the dream and actually understand everything. Because to truly awaken is to understand everything. Some people be like, I'm awake. If you don't understand everything, if there are still things that are confusing you, you're not. If there are questions that you don't have answers to, you're not. You must know everything for sure. No more confusion. You get it. You understand what is really, really going on, and you can explain it thoroughly. And you can even prove it. That is good. But as long as we don't know, it's safe to still think that we are dealing with forces that are deceiving us. And they can very easily. If they showed you a video of Benedictine doing something, you just be like, yeah, it's him, it's definite. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to make people see you a certain way, because we haven't reached a level where we can know for sure what's real and what isn't, right? We're confused. We're still debating even now whether what we're experiencing is real or not. We're debating whether we're in a simulation or not. Debating about solipsism, crazy, right? Debating whether we live in a material universe or um, we live in a universe that's generated by the mind. Even though idealism seems to make more sense than materialism, but still. Thank you guys for watching this video until the end. Like the video, tell me what you think about the video. Let us keep on growing. Subscribe to the channel, that helps a lot. Share the video. Thank you.